There is a lot of F around and find out going on. First, it started with the Latino and the Latina community when the realization hit them about the mass deportation plan that Donald Trump and his administration has planned. Then it was Dearborn, Michigan, the Palestinians and the Muslims, as they realized that Donald Trump wasn't going to do anything to help the Palestinians in Gaza. In fact, he's going to make it 10 times worse. Then it was the farmers and taxpayers in general, as they truly realized what tariffs are and how those tariffs was going to affect them. Then it's the MAGA nuts as a whole when Donald Trump came out and said, oh, he's not going to be able to do anything about lowering grocery prices and gas prices. And they are now in a full blown civil war because Donald Trump is backtracking on America First and stands with tech billionaires in bringing over brown people from another country instead of putting white people first, which is what they thought was going to happen. And now, the most sad of it all is that firefighters are now finding out that Republicans and Donald Trump does not give a crap about them. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, Tabitha Speaks Politics. I am your host, Tabitha, and yes, we are still on the road to 500,000 subscribers. I believe we are currently at 164,000 subscribers. I'm hoping, I'm praying, fingers crossed, that we can get to 200,000 subscribers by spring. What do you think? Make sure you're sharing and you're liking all of my videos to get my voice out there. If you've come across this video and are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I will be glad to have you, and you can help me reach my goal. With all of the F around and finding out that's going on, I suspect there's a whole lot more to go. Donald Trump has not even been sworn into office, and there's a whole lot of people finding out that he does not care about them. That when he said out there on the campaign trail that he does not care about them, he cares about only their vote, they are now finding out that is true. But there is so much more that we have yet to discover. But the most saddest to me right now is the firefighters. You see, after 9/11, I remember Jon Stewart out on the picket lines with firefighters. I remember Jon Stewart, the comedian Jon Stewart, the host of The Daily Show, Jon Stewart, was sitting in on and testifying at congressional hearings, fighting for New York firefighters to get what is called the 9/11 health care fund. And what that is a health care fund that would pay the medical bills for those firefighters who are dealing with some severe, serious medical issues as a result of 9/11. Jon Stewart and those firefighters fought for so long to finally get their dream, to finally get this healthcare program passed. And they have had it in place for several years now. They won the battle. And then New York firefighters galvanized to vote Donald Trump into the presidency. And with the passing of this bill, in order to keep the government open through March, Republicans snatched out that health care bill. And so firefighters will no longer have access to this health care coverage. The saddest of them all. A lot of the firefighters that rushed into buildings during and after 9/11, after those planes hit the building, they didn't think twice. They rushed into those buildings to try to find and save innocent people. And as a result, breathing in all of those particles, asbestos, all of that gook from the fallen debris, it severely affected their health. And that program, that health care coverage, provided them with the health care needed to allow them to live just a little bit longer and have just a little bit more healthy days ahead of them. And now it's gone. Republicans, at the behest of Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they cut it out of the bill. And that bill would have provided these firefighters with this coverage through to 2040. And now firefighters are upset. They are disappointed. They are begging Donald Trump to step in and to save this healthcare program. Check out this news report.
New York City Fire Department unions are calling for the restoration of funding to the James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensation Act after it was left out of Congress's funding on Friday. The act guarantees medical treatment for first responders, firefighters, and survivors who helped with the recovery efforts following the World Trade Center attack. It also provides financial compensation for those who suffered injuries, illnesses, or death as a result.
We're calling on the administration that's coming in. We're calling on the senators and Congress people that have made their promises to honor what everyone has said, to never forget.
The Zadroga Act first passed in 2010 and was thought to be permanently funded to help those who were on the front lines of 9/11. And now, due to budget negotiations in Congress, it may not get the necessary funding. More than 20 years since 9/11, FDNY officials are pleading for help from the federal government.
We restored stability, we gave people hope, and we did the job very few were willing to do. Very few were even willing to come south to Canal Street, no less walk on a pile of debris that you knew was probably killing you with every step you took. And what are we asking in for return? Funding, so we could live a little bit longer and a little bit healthier. Is that too much to ask?
Advocates saying that those heroes who answered the call on 9/11 should not have to beg the federal government for financial help, especially financial help that they were already promised. Reporting from Lower Manhattan, I'm Meredith Gorman, Fox 5 News.
The name of the healthcare program is the World Trade Center Health Program, which was created back in 2011 as part of the James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensations Act. So you can look that up. It was initially supposed to run for 5 years, but was extended until 2090 as more people were sickened with 9/11 illnesses. But I believe it comes up for renewal through Congress every few years, and it was currently set to be renewed in this latest bill through to 2040. And the Republicans and Donald Trump snuffed it out. They took it out of the bill. Sad. He told you that he did not care about you. He has shown you on more than one occasion that he does not care about you. And yet, you said to yourself, no, I'm not really seeing what I'm seeing. You said to yourself, no, I'm not really hearing what it is that I am hearing. And you chose to vote for him anyway. Republicans have said on many occasions that they will be getting rid of entitlement programs. He put billionaires in charge of going through the budget to cut $2 trillion from the budget. They will not be cutting any funding from the Pentagon. They won't be cutting any funding from their corporate welfare programs. They won't cut any funding from any of those areas. So where do you think they are going to cut the funding? It's already started with this healthcare program for these firefighters. Next up will be Social Security and Medicare. Republicans have been trying to cut that program for decades, and you putting Donald Trump back into office just expedited that. Right now, it's a wait and see which programs they are going to cut first. And this is what you voted for. Elections have consequences. This is why you have to pay attention to what it is that they are really saying. This is why you have to come outside of your political bubble to listen to other voices and what information they're bringing to the table. This is why you have to put aside your racial biases, because Republicans and Donald Trump played on your racial biases, your prejudices. While you were worried about trans athletes, which is less than 1% of this country, while they had you riled up about that and DEI programs and affirmative action, you weren't paying attention to what they were saying on the other side. I was paying attention to what they were saying on the other side. This is sad, but there's more to come.